In 2020, I was invited to a program in Ibadan about digital marketing, and after the program, the place I was staying was not that convenient for me again, so I had to tell the convener of the program and ask him if I can get someone to just stay with for the moment before I make my before I go back to Abia State. So he said no problem, and there's this person that I've been longing to see me too. So he was like, yeah, that would be an opportunity for him to have a discussion with me. Then we have more to talk about how our experience in digital marketing, making money, and all of those stuff. So talking to me, I was started making money around 2019 in digital marketing. I was just started to scratch the ground. That was when I actually focused, really go into it. So, but I've been into the triangles since 2017. So back to the story. The guy, offered that I come to his house, and his house is very nice. Now, while we were in the house, I noticed something. Whenever we're just discussing, or maybe we are working, according to the story, they are his brother's friends. So they come and ask him. It's usually been cornered, or usually ask him to to see them in camera. So I was getting worried. I was thinking maybe it was about me, because I was thinking I was overstaying my welcome. But then it wasn't about me. So now, back to let me just do a little rewind. The guy is, I mean, a very successful affiliate marketer. As back then when Expertnaire was still 15K, and he was telling me about the experience of how he and his friend were able to make 400,000. And he was sharing with me some of the um, lead magnet that they use, and it was very fine. I think he also helped me write one too. So that's the kind of person I'm talking about. So it's not like a small person. So now they keep on meeting. I was like, okay. One day, one of his brother's friend just came around. I was like, he couldn't just even say, okay, you want to see him privately again. He just told me, just told me. I said, yeah, they follow your friend. Like, it was like I should talk to my friend. And what was the issue? The issue is that the guy, according to them, does not take care of the environment, because apparently his parents are not in Nigeria again, so they are overseas. So he's the one in charge of the environment. Both the tenants oversees it, and also feed the dogs, wash them, and all those stuff. So he was the last one. So they usually ask to, usually come up and like, hey, guy is not working, he's not doing this and he's not doing that. Now the issue there. So when they told me that, I just knew what the problem was. So this is what I told you, and I want to tell you too. Okay, it's good that you're making money. I started making money, things are going fine, and that's fine. That's fine. That's beautiful. But issue is that when you are doing well online, you might forget that there is actually a life outside online, which is offline. So sometimes if you're a freelancer, you will be very aware of what I'm saying. So you might sometimes freelancers don't even take their bets onto like 6 p.m. Yeah, sometimes you just wake up with walls, and you are eating junks and everything. So it's also something you should take into consideration. Make sure that you take care of your physical environment. Now, people around you don't know what you're doing online. In fact, it's in the current world we have in the country, you might more likely be misunderstood as a internet foster. So here's what you need to do to make sure that you balance your online. You might be doing very well. You might be making millions. You might be doing 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. But if you don't take care of that, there's some pre-hangles offline. People will be perceiving you, or will be looking at you as an unserious fellow or irresponsible fellow. And now you might say, okay, that's on them, but then you won't want a situation where they will, maybe these people might just be the one that will implicate you at the end of the day. Yeah, there are cases whereby neighbors give false alarm to EFCC, to other security agents, and say, we don't know what this guy is doing. This guy does not look like a responsible person. And you are there, you're doing well. And sometimes you are still living with your parents. So they're like, hey, you don't do this, you don't do that. To them, whatever you're making is none of your business. So here's what you need to do. Have a routine to also tackle your physical life. So it's just like the same thing happened to, because I watched it and you know that. So people, I noticed this with programmers. Programmers also have this kind of lifestyle. Right before, when digital marketing became a rampant stuff, or people started doing freelancing, a lot of programmers are also you always see them with junks. You also see them with sachets of maybe cakes, sachet of biscuits, just junks. No time to cook real food, no time to do exercise. So they are always obese, and it's not. This is not body shaming, but then this is something that you not you're just taking time. You might be so addicted to your work online that you forget about your physical environment, which is not good for you. Which is not going to be giving that kind of lifestyle. Also, get a life outside your online work. This is what you need to do sometimes. Sometimes people might actually ask you, okay, aren't you going to go to work? Because especially when you are not yet making the money, so they don't really understand why you're always on your system. They will say you are playing, especially when your parents, African parents will tell you, you're always pressing your laptop, you're always doing this. What are you know, sometimes you have to, this is why I usually advise people how to make money from scratch as a beginner. When people ask that question, sometimes you need to just get a physical job, something minimal, and be doing why not so that you can have money to sponsor your online business. Second, so that people around you know that you are busy doing something. This is their mentality. The mentality is that if you are not doing something they can see, tangible things they can see, you're not doing anything. So you want to maintain, you have to be able to keep up that um integrity for the meantime. When you start making real cash, that you can pick up some things, or you are able to establish the fact that you are actually doing the work, then you can retire from some of your jobs. And now this is not me saying that you should be a people pleaser, and because you have to just do the work, so you have no. It's me saying that if you have things to take care of, home to sweep, dog to take care of, to feed them, to you have to put those things into consideration too, because some of you are just too young. Many of us are still young actually. So, but imagine you are married and just have to focus on your. You have to remember that you have a life outside too. So because the internet might be so addictive. Yeah. I'm speaking from experience. You might be online and you be like, I'm working. I can stay on system for 6 hours straight. Maybe I get tired, I just walk around, stand up, stretch. But some people don't even stretch. That's how addictive it can be. So because of that, you have to take care of your environment, your life. See, there's physical life, there's also digital life. So when you are doing your work, make sure that you also put that physical life into proper shape, because people will actually judge you based on what they are seeing. They will usually judge you by the cover. I hope you can do well with this. Also tag some of your digital marketing friends that will need this advice. Some of them are actually guilty of this right now, but this is not you tagging them to shame them, but this is tagging them to also know that, yeah, there is life outside the physical. If you have loved ones, if you have a lover, give them time to create time for these things. This time is actually not uncontrollable. It just has to do with planning. Thank you. See you guys again. I'm a favorite digital professor. Follow me for more.